Yeah, how do I sound with it when I hit the ground? 100-mile finish. My moment now ain't no mouse in us. I'm on the prowl and my style fitted. My time, give me high fives. Get a picture of the wise guy. What's a wave to a high tide? Never stop when you my size. Man, this my, I said it's my moment. I said it's my moment. I came here to own it. Man, it's my moment. Man, it's my, I said it's my moment.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Challenger Series. I am Formal. Joining me all the way from Ireland, it is Noah. I thought it was Jake. I was told it was going to be Jake, but no, apparently it's going to be Noah Leok here to join us. Welcome back to OCE. I don't even want to know what time it is for you, but I'm happy you somehow found a way to stay awake.
Listen, I'm running on 1 hour of sleep. I've arrived and I'm already being told you wish I was someone else. Formal, I'm going to have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, look, we were watching that last game alongside everyone else. We saw, what things we're looking at so far here in the Challenger Series. A lot of own goals, a lot of sloppy play, but we're at the stage of the event now where I do expect things to settle. So we have what could be actually the two best team in this Challenger Series about to go at it. Gaming Gamers versus Serani. That's going to be our next match, but uncheerful ends. They're making a bit of a run on that lower half of the bracket.
They definitely are. It's going to be tough for them now that they're in the semifinals, as you say. This is very much the business end. Good teams are arriving, and Tiki Taka, I think, should be favourites in that match, but Uncheerful Ends definitely have momentum on their side coming in, and it's been a surprisingly close bracket, I think, so far, considering some of the teams, considering some of the names on those teams, and what the results have been so far. Definitely still feels up for grabs.
You're looking at that Reborn Titans Serani matchup, aren't you? I feel like that's where your eyes are going when you say something like that. I mean, yeah, that game was, I really wish we had seen that to really have seen what happened there.
Yeah, and I mean, even beyond that, the follow-up match that Serani had, because again, Serani just looking kind of purely at names, purely on achievements for players in this competition, probably our favourites, or at least close to it on the day. But even against Curious Curists, they had some really close matches. They won 3-1, sure, but game 1 and 2, they won by a single goal. They got kind of swept out of it in game 3, and then sure came back strong to win in game 4. But I think all of that just goes to say that this upper half of the bracket is still also wide open.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun one, and I think Serani versus Gaming Gamers is going to be a good sort of litmus test for realistically where both the teams are at. I mean, Gaming Gamers, they were the team that did kind of get through that Challenger Series last time. This squad, Sprat, Hawk, Zen, I mean, all super familiar names. We know they can bring it when they do start to gel together. It was a little bit surprising. I think last week, this week, we can't really be surprised. We know they're maybe playing a bit more for fun. We know they might not be the most serious team, but the talent is still there in spades.
Absolutely. And I think you're also looking to see which of these teams can actually compete. Obviously, only one team going through to the Gauntlet tomorrow. And there's some very, very good teams who absolutely have that talent waiting for them there. So now's the time to kind of, prove that you have maybe the synergy, that you have the play, that you're going to be able to compete at the level that's going to be required by the time you get there.
Well, I mean, for players like, I guess in this stage, Kaka, because Fades is in, not Finn. So that actually explains maybe a little bit of what's happening with Serani. Not that Fades is a bad player. But for Kaka in particular, and even for Pagsy, who's gotten their fair share of top fours now, like their expectation would be to go that far. That said, people in the chat right now leaning towards that Gaming Gamer side. I don't know if that's just because of the name value or just because Serani going 5 against the Reborn Titans has people nervous, but I'd be a part of that 37% personally.
It's hard to say. I think a lot of people also possibly looking at how previous matches have gone so far today for Serani and saying, yeah, they've managed to scrape through the challenges, but it has kind of been an element of, they've scraped past their 2 previous opponents, and Gaming Gamers do look a cut above the competition that they've faced so far. It's going to be an interesting match either way. I think game one and how fast both of these teams kind of come out swinging, if either of these teams does look very aggressive early on, is definitely going to set the tone. You know, if Gaming Gamers come in looking like a team that believes they are the favorites to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see as well, because if we're going to talk about someone who I want to see coming out swinging, my eyes actually go to the Serrani side and onto Kaka as well, because the games where Kaka is confident, where they are that forward-playing midfielder more so than not, things look really, really good for them historically. We'll see how they gel together. Pagsy as well is another player who, if they're like cheating forward on pretty much any opportunity, just creating chaos on the opposite end, it can be a good day for them as well. That said, we will be kicking this one off quite shortly, it looks like. I don't know, Fades is an interesting one, because I wasn't expecting to see Fades here today. I thought it was going to be Finn. Fades is, again, another one of those bubble players that had a fair bit of hype around them. Didn't really get many opportunities to show that off in RLCS just yet, but I'm excited to see what they can do in this sort of lineup.
And as you say, it's going to be interesting to see how Fate stacks up against the rest of the competition. If they are looking like they belong early on, I mean, as you say, an excellent player could still show very good things, but Finn is the player that we were expecting to see here. Fades in instead. Little bit of a shake-up to the roster. Maybe that does explain some of the problems they have been having earlier in the bracket, or maybe Fades just pops off early in this match and proves the doubters wrong. The doubters being, well, maybe me in this case.
I mean, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Also, I believe JDW is Kaka. We'll get some confirmation on that as soon as possible. But for now, it's going to be Hawk straight down the middle, and the first goal goes to the Gaming Gamers.
Look, I wanted to see which team came out aggressively, and I don't think we really have an answer yet, because that is as close to a kickoff goal as you're going to get. It's 19 seconds of play, and it is just the defense not getting set in time. No one at home for Serrani. That's a soft goal to give way early in game one.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was getting a little sick of the kickoff goals in those first two games on stream. That one, I'm lumping it in that same category as well. Just Serrani looking unsettled. Hawk going to take advantage of that, but that's the kind of player Hawk is. I mean, some players can say he's a little ball chasey, maybe a little greedy on the boost. I believe last time in RLCS he was like gapping his team in the boost 2-1, but Hawk is the type of player to make that work, so you've always got to be kind of cautious when they're on the pitch. Zen now going to try a little tap down, going to be saved by Kaka on the line.
Zen now kind of stuck a little bit in no man's land, will rotate back, is just living on pads at the moment in the middle of the pitch, but has managed to get a touch on that ball and maybe slow down any potential for the orange team to move aggressively up. Serrani not getting a breakaway there, and there's Fades looking for Kaka on the side wall. Kaka with a chance to move it in the middle, but that touch kind of went into no man's land, and it's back instead with Gaming Gamers on the charge.
And this was the exact opposite Serrani that I wanted to see. Three players playing off their backboard, no one really cheating forward. Foxy kind of was there by default just because they were collecting boost on this occasion. This is a Serrani team that could struggle as we kind of move it forward, but now on the attack, maybe Kaka can make something happen. Zen not able to make the save, instead it's going to be Hawk off the backboard finding the touch.
Yeah, good save coming off the back wall. There's still an attack going. Fades takes it low instead, but can't get past Zen on the goal line. This is now a little bit more confident and a little bit more aggressive. One more touch lands on Pagsy. He's going to, again, slow play it, looking to just open up a little bit of space. And they are playing with that little bit of extra confidence in the opposition half now. They are willing to slow it down and try and force the space open if it's not there to begin with.
Sprat, good beat on Pagsy. That's going to set up Zen. Shot saved by Kaka on the goal line. Hawk already opposite end over the top of one. Didn't really have the avenue, though, to jump it off the backboard. And again, we got to see a little bit of space created for Serrani, but Pagsy was sitting back, so couldn't get underneath Fade. Still a shot for Kaka down the middle, easily collected by Zen.
Could have been a better shot there. Could have been an equalizing goal, but there's another chance on a Kaka in, and it was a little bit behind Pagsy, who couldn't find the shot off the back of that pass then. But good idea. And the execution just needs to clean up a little bit, and we could be looking at a tied game, because it really has been all Serrani creating the chances in the last couple of minutes, but they've given away another soft one, and that's the problem. If maybe you're getting a little bit confident but don't have anything to show for it yet.
Hawkeyes this time finds a gap down the middle, gonna take that shot twice now. Hawk has found the exact same goal. This one maybe a little bit longer into the duration of play, but overall, yeah, Serrani just looking a little bit sloppy on some of their back-end rotations, been punished twice.
They are the team looking to create most of the time at the moment, but it's just a couple of degrees of execution that they're lacking, right? They haven't managed to find that killer shot. They haven't broken open the defense, whether it's a shot or a pass, to finally break things open. They just need someone to get across the line and maybe open things up, but they just keep leaving Hawk in space with a route straight to the net.
Yeah, and third goal, I think all three of these shots have been from behind the midfield line. Like, Hawk's out there shooting threes right now. Only get 1.4, but I guess 3 overall. It is the hat trick. That time, even with Kaka on defense as well, just couldn't make the save. The positioning so perfect.
It was pretty clean. Honestly, the best finish we've seen from Hawk so far, but whether, you know, some of them have been soft or not, it is still a hat trick for Hawk and doing what needs to be done. And when the opposition gives you chances like that, you do still have to take them. So it is comfortable in game 1 for gaming gamers, but I still think that Serani are the team that is looking to create a little bit more, which means that this series, even if it is 3-0 in game 1, definitely not over yet. If they can clean that defense up a little bit for game 2, if they can start to close those gaps and finally start to open up the scoring. No, it's fine, Formal. It's fine. It's not fine.
Well, I mean, it's more fine than if Sprat had missed it. I will say that.
Yeah.
I got a little bit nervous there because it wasn't the easiest launch angle, and Hawk was kind of zooming right for it, but no, Sprat will put it in. Going to be a 4-0 lead for the Gaming Gamers at the end of that one.
I think the worry for Serani here is that that's Gaming Gamers actually kind of forcing a goal of their own rather than just taking advantage of a little bit of space that was left open for them by Serani. And if Gaming Gamers then, with this lead, start to find the confidence, there's another shot on target, good pinch from Pagsy, then all of a sudden you've kind of allowed Gaming Gamers to seize control of this, and they're using that to build momentum of their own, and that's exactly what Serani can't afford right now.
I just like, look, I'm going to be that guy. I want to see, this sounds weird, and purely for selfish reasons, as Pagsy is going to get one through up in nice little doink shot. Actually, it was Kaka on the reset, setting that one up, I feel like. Should get the MVP, but going back to Hawk just real quick, I'm only disappointed for selfish reasons because I always taught Hawk up as this big mechanical player, and all 3 of those first goals were just lob shots from the middle of the field. Like,
it's fair. Yeah. And there was a little bit of pace on the third one. You know, there was some execution. Okay, that was fine. That didn't go in. I did have to pause for a second. It's Pagsy in a 1-on-1, and we'll run straight into Zen, who's a brick wall on defense that time around. 30 seconds left. Game 1's over. It has been for a little while. Yeah. But I think positive signs, right? In terms of plays created from kind of open play and actually created rather than just taken, it's kind of 1-to-1, you know? Now, that's still clear signs. Clear signs, Formal, that the defense needs to clean up from Serani. Those defensive rotations need to get better, but they can compete in this series, right?
People make fun of American math. I'm so sorry to question Irish math at the end of that one. That might
equally bad. But I just want a close series.
Okay, well, maybe it will come together. You're right. Just got to clean up the closings on some of those attacks for Serani. Don't allow the middle of the pitch open, and don't give Hawk any open touches. There we go. 3 keys to success right there. Game 1, though, in the books. Yeah, it was a hat trick for Hawk. Gaming Gamers looked way too comfortable for the first 3.5 minutes of that series. Like, I think that's the be-all, end-all of it as well, even on defense. You have to kind of expect that from the Gaming Gamers, too, though, because Zen is always kind of that player who is a little bit more comfortable on the back half, I've found. Sprat, I have no idea. It always depends on the day with Sprat and Hawk. You know, you give Hawk space, Hawk's probably going to score a goal. So they're okay to play further back. They want their opponents to maybe overextend and get out of position. And Serani did that 1 too many times, or 3 too many.
I mean, for as much as I've been talking it up and saying, like, well, Gaming Gamers just took the chances when they were presented, you're right. They were weathering the storm really well. Serani were the team that were aggressing for a lot of that game. They were up trying to force an opening. Gaming Gamers weathered the pressure, ultimately drew players up and created that space for themselves a little bit with that playstyle. So if the defense continues to hold for Gaming Gamers and they can kind of show what they did with that 4th goal and maybe get something going on the counter-attack that doesn't fully rely on the defense just vanishing in front of them, then yeah, they have options in terms of scoring goals. And if you have lots of options and you're a good team in scoring goals, then they're going to go in eventually.
Yeah, and I do think we will be seeing higher quality goals. I'm hoping we see higher quality goals, or at least higher quality own goals, one way or the other. Because I'm still jealous of the 2 that Yummy and Jake got, all right? Like, if you didn't see those before, they were
wild.
They were some top-tier own goaling right now. We have a little bit of a break it looks like before we kind of kick on to this next game, so do bear with us before we get into game number 2. I'm also curious to see, again, like Fades was kind of a player who we're looking out for to see how they can get involved. Didn't have too much of an impact on that first game, Noah. I'm hoping that turns around in the second game, and then we get to see more Fades moving forwards.
Fades was getting a lot of the offensive ball possession, though, for Serrani. So may not have had the most impact, but definitely is the player that they are looking to maybe rally behind when they're making those pushes into opposition half, because moving forward from the halfway line, it felt like it was Fades who was moving that ball forward more often than not. So yeah, if Fades can start to find that shooting form or just become a more efficient distributor of the ball in this second half and find one of his 2 teammates who we know are both excellent scorers in their own right as well, are definitely capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. And again, I don't want to oversay it, but there is room for Serrani to come into the series. I think the 4-1 scoreline is a little bit deceptive, and looking at the rest of the bracket from earlier in the night as well, Serrani lost a few blowouts and then went on to win in blowouts of their own in some other games, and seeing how that game 1 went, I can absolutely see how that's the case.
Very, very likely. That could be a direction we go. Look, while we're waiting for this next game, I want to play a game with the Twitch chat right now, just real quick, because Kaka, they changed their name to JDW. I want to know what people think that JDW stands for in Twitch chat. It's a fun little game. What is the acronym that JDW stands for? Why they changed their name? Because I'm curious on that and see what people can kind of come up with right now. What do you think? I'm trying to think as well, because those are J and W are hard for the acronym game.
Yeah, it's a game that does also seem to be being played in the lobby chat.
Yeah, now you gave away where my source is from. Thanks.
No, listen, we're not clever. Everything we do is just stolen from the lobby chat, right? This is this dirty little casting secret. I'm gonna go with just doing winning. Unfortunately, not the case in game 1. You know?
Yeah, well, they didn't. Yeah, just don't win was game number 1, but you can change it to doing, I think, as we go. Or just didn't win.
Oh. That is some. That is absolutely some like League of Legends level changing of nicknames to fit the player. I don't know. Look, obviously not to talk about other games too much, but there was famous player God V, who whenever he started losing, chat would just start to spam Gold 5 instead.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think JDW has the potential there. Just do winning or just don't win, depending on whether or not the match is won or lost.
Yeah, it is pretty wild right there. Pretty crazy as hopefully we should be getting into this one shortly right now. I mean, look, unfortunately, I'm gonna break the fourth wall right now. We can't start this game until we figure out what JDW stands for. Like that's what's holding us up right. We got to figure it out. That is on the line, all right? Like that's so. And Twitch chat has given me no suggestions. So Twitch chat, if you want the game to start, we need your suggestions. That is what is holding us up. I hate to say it.
Yeah, we are desperate for it at this point. It does look like there is potentially movement as well, and we may unfortunately also be losing the JDW initials going into game 2. But we are getting into game 2. We have in fact lost the JDW initials, and Kaka has rejoined the match. Will the name change bring any luck with it? Just don't whiff
from Dury. I like that.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one. I wasn't even thinking whiff. That's clever. I like that. I like that, Dury. Yeah. You earned it. All right, here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. Game number 2 now underway. Kaka has returned. Just don't whiff is gone. And now maybe the whips will stop as well. Kaka, first touch, takes it to the corner, but can't get it back to Pagsy. Nope, off place, keep away.
Bit of space at the back again there, but Fades does cover it off better this time. I think in game 1, that's a go. I'm going to say it. I think that Serrani probably don't have someone back in time, but it is saved away, and maybe that's a positive sign moving forward for the rest of game 2 here. But it is going to be Gaming Gamers charging forward. That looked like a good pass, but you got to remember, JDW, just don't whiff.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zen didn't remember at that time as that one went aside. Fade missed it as well, but going to be another tap for Zen. Open backward double touch. It's going to be down and in. Too clean for Zenulus.
0 boost left in the tank. That final touch was difficult, but gets the soft touch off the roof of the car and drops it perfectly into that top left corner. That is a very, very pretty goal and a great way to start the scoring off in Game 2 for Gaming Gamers.
Yeah, Zen might be like a ripe old age of, I don't know, 20 or something, but you still can't deny this kid's mechanics when a backboard is left open. And that can be said for pretty much 2 of the 3 members, I feel like. Maybe even Sprat as well. On a good day, there's Fades' shot, but it's going to be saved by Zen on the line.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times from Tirani. Shots that have kind of opened up space available and then shot kind of just rolls into a keeper. But at least they're creating the shots. And here's Kaka going for one over the top, and that is lovely off the ceiling. And Kaka, the name change is working.
Yeah, just didn't whiff that time off the roof. That late touch, Zen was expecting something a little bit tighter. Didn't quite have the angle to find that save. Not many players would, so finally Serrani gets themselves a nice looking goal. Game number 2 looking a little bit more contested than game number 1 right now, as Hawk is going to take to the skies, gets it underneath Kaka, but Pagsy will get their first. Sprat hanging back.
Likely looking again on 0 boost, using a lot to just catch up with that ball. Couldn't get a shot on target, but here's the attack again. Shot on Sprat on the goal line, gets it clear for now. Fades trying to just control it, keep it safe on the way back, and it has allowed the team to reset in time. Watches Fades is still sitting up there a little bit late on the bump for Sprat, unable to clear the way for another goal.
Zen looking for another double, not going to find it. Paxy's touchdown the middle, caught by Sprat. The New Zealander won't get the shot just yet. Now it's going to be Hawk down to Zen again. Another nice pass, but nowhere safe for Zen to put it. Had to go corner. Many defenders in the goal. Counterattack back up. Sprat's going to slow it down in front of their own net and then drive it right into Fades and Pagsy, but gets it past them both. Interesting little setup right now. Kaka's been having to do a lot of the work right now for Serrani, though. Like, not to change tempo too much, but it has been the Kaka show on Serrani thus far. I want to see some of the other players step up.
Yeah, and I think what we've been seeing from both Fades and Pagsy is whenever they manage to get the ball up into the opposition half, they've had to use their entire boost tank just to get it across the halfway line. And by the time they get up there, then there's very little left to try and mount an attack. Maybe something different here. Fades bump. Pagsy, you gotta go again.
What?
Moment of miscommunication.
Oh, and all 3 players cheated forward. We almost got another Hawk long ball right there to take the lead. Now it's going to be Sprat down to Zen. Pagsy, nice interception, but Hawk's already there. If that's in, nope, a little bit too high.
Game 1 Hawk would have scored that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, wait, bring back Game 1 Hawk. Oh, it's what it is. The name change was all to cool them off. That's got to be it, right?
Oh, genius. That cat just rolled in. Oh, it was close, though. It was close. Kako won't get there in time for a follow-up shot. Does get a boost steal, and so this is better boost control. It's opened up a lot of space. Pagsy hits it into the keeper, but Fades with the follow-up.
Yeah, Fades just stayed tight, stayed close, and was eventually able to find that shot right there. I mean, Sprat, just didn't trust the jump, I suppose. Let's that would sail overhead, a bit unfortunate, but good little goal from Fades, and now all of a sudden, for the first time in this series, it's Serrani in the lead.
Ronnie will have to see what they can do with the lead. Can they hold it? What does the playstyle look like? I'm going to guess they continue to go for it aggressively, as they have been in both games, even when they were behind by a lot. And even with the win now, I'd expect them to still look pretty aggressive with it.
I love that fake going for the bump, but it was like the lightest touch on the Kaka right there from Sprat. It was
just a love tap.
Yeah, it was like a ha-ha, fooled you. But not really. Either way, Fades looking for Pagsy. Zen will come across with the save, a little bit too slow from the Serrani side. Still, they're the team with the lead. Kaka, just a bit of an awkward touch. Hawk, though, isn't able to punish yet. Now Sprat looking for Hawk again. Pagsy has been doing a much better job this second game on defense, actually, kind of disrupting a lot of the Gaming Gamers setups, which has been a big difference for the attack, although now Sprat doesn't get the dunk.
Yeah, that's long. It'll head to the back wall. Zen gets another touch off it, though, on his own back wall and beats out the oncoming player. Kaka beaten, but Kaka still here with boost down in front of Fades. Good passing places. Pagsy on the back post. No. Unable to get the follow-up there, and I think it looked a little bit like Fades split between actually just taking the shot and trying to find Pagsy on that back post and really splitting the difference.
Yeah, this game is very similar to game number 1 for Serrani, it feels like, where they have been the more proactive team. They have been setting up a lot more of the shots, but they just haven't been able to finish the goals off. Granted, the big difference for them has been they've stopped Hawk from just getting 3 touches across the middle of the field into the net, so that's a positive step forward. This is so open.
Yeah. Not much more to say on that. It was indeed so open. Hawk just kind of passed it in field to Kaka, and it's hard to say who he was looking for. It wasn't really like there was a teammate in a great position to receive that pass, so it's going to be a 3-1 lead. I mean, at some point, yeah, there needed to be something from Gaming Gamers. They needed to try and get a little bit wild with it to try and find something, but it won't happen. And it looks like we're heading towards a tied series. We're running out of time. FaZe will take one more shot, and I think that'll wrap up game 2. Series tied at 1-1, and it is kind of a blowout in both directions, although much less of one this time around. I think this much more felt like the game that game 1 could have been for them, right? I know we were laughing about my Irish maths at the end of that game and saying, yeah, it was 1-1 from open play, right? But this was kind of 2-1 from open play and then a soft goal at the end when Gaming Gamers needed to try and find something. And it came off the back of Serani managing to do that, clean up their defense a little bit, and then be the more proactive team on the field.
All I'm saying is JDW just didn't win, but Kaka certainly did. So I don't know, name change probably for the better right now. That's definitely a good little turnaround for Serani. And again, I liked how FaZe got more involved, particularly on the attacking side. I think Pagsy was a lot more consistent on defense, shutting down a lot of sort of those passes as they were getting set up as well. And Kaka, still that driving force overall. It still has been like the key player, I feel like, for the Serani side. But for Gaming Gamers, they need to mix up their own approach a little bit because it looks like they tried to do the exact same thing as game 1. Look for some of those lob shots, maybe follow up with an infield pass. Neither of those were working in game 2. So game 3, I want to see a more aggressive Gaming Gamer side. I want to see Hawk kind of get unleashed a little bit more, be that greedy, boost chasing ball hog, and really force Serani to get into positions where their rotations start to look a little bit sloppy because of how much attacking pressure Hawk can bring.
Absolutely. And to the other point you mentioned there, not really kind of absorbing the pressure as well, not creating the space at the back. If you're going to go for that kind of playstyle, if you want to try and draw 3 players up, then you need to really consider what your clears look like on defense. Never mind. Hawk will just score 3 seconds in. 9 seconds in.
You know what? But this was better than your average kickoff goal because both teams touched the ball. Serani, you could argue, actually got themselves set up defensively, but Hawk just crossed up both defenders. Both defenders were facing that right side. Shot goes left. It's going to go in 1-0 for the Gaming Gamers.
Yeah, and maybe another chance here. Zendo, the first touch, running away from them a little bit, will not be able to follow up. And Kaka has literally no boost in the tank, so Hawk will take that ball because it belongs to them.
This is the Hawk I want to see. The aggressive ball chasing. Zendo down, top bar and in. Zen helping get an early lead.
This is kind of already getting a little bit out of hand for Serani. They've dropped 2 in 26 seconds. And they both come off just good play in front of the net, honestly, as well. Those were not free goals. That was not the defense disappearing. That was running the defense out of boost in the first kind of 15-20 seconds off the back of the kickoff, and then taking full advantage of the fact that cars couldn't get into the air to contest them.
I mean, the pace difference from the Gaming Gamers between games 2 and 3 is like immediately visible off of these kickoffs right now, and has been kind of keeping Serani on that back foot where this team admittedly should look less comfortable considering the caliber of these players and how they like to approach this game. We will see, though, if Serani are going to be able to wrestle some momentum back. That tunk from Pagsy will get the ball to the blue side of the field. Weak challenge from FaZe, though, brings it back. The net is open, by the way, and Sprat was too slow on the shot.
Yeah, Sprat demoed in the backfield to open up that space, but in doing so meant that the shot was always going to be a little bit slow. Now Kaka has a full tank boost, he's going over the top, flip reset, but can't get the bump onto Sprat, who will send it long. Pagsy under a lot of pressure, demoed as well, and all of a sudden, Gaming Gamers have, I think, pulled off about 5 demos in the last 30 seconds, and it will open up Hawk to drop one from the heavens.
Oh, out of the corner as well, back into that shot. So well plays Hawk. Again, ball hawk, Hawkeyes, Kobe, whatever you want to call them, with shots like that, absolutely downing them. I will say this, though. I'm loving the demo game as well, and I have to throw that shout back to the AEL Uni League just because it's one of my favorite stats I've ever seen. The AEL Elite Series, Zen, in a best of 5, 42 solo demos in a winning effort one time as Sprat makes it 4-0.
That is a truly absurd amount of demos, and they didn't even need them for this one. This feels kind of like a concession goal, like, yeah, Yeah, no, game 3 feels a little bit done for Serrani, right? There's not really the urgency in getting players back on that one. Surely they don't concede another kickoff goal here. Kaka gets a touch. It's okay. We don't go to 5-0 just yet.
Well, in fact, we're going to go the other way. Kaka wanted to fake out Hawk, but Hawk saw it coming. Good patient play from the defense right there. That was tricky. Taxi still has that pressure, but fades. This was a little bit too far forward. Sprat got them beat. Now up the back. Okay, Sprat will just miss. Had Hawk underneath, too. That could have been a good pass. Either way, fades will find Kaka. Zen misses as well. This is good for Serrani. Kaka doesn't get the beat.
Sprat gets back with the full tank boost that was stolen away at the other end, and Sprat and Hawk go shoulder to shoulder to bring that ball forward. It'll land on Hawk, and it'll be Hawk to put it past 2 defenders. And we do, in fact, move to 5-0.
Hawk just doesn't miss right now. Like they are. It was surprising to see how strong they looked last week, but this week they're looking even better. At least so far in this series right now. Hawk has just been absolutely on point, and if this is the beginning of the return of Hawk, who again was always kind of touted as like they're going to be the next big OCE player. Their time is coming. They had like a season and a half of RCS, and they kind of disappeared for a year and a half. Well, if they're back and shooting like this, it could definitely mix things up going into 2024.
Hawk is looking like that scariest type of player, which is you cannot at any point allow him a free touch on the ball, right? Like, you need to be contesting Hawk on everything, and that puts so much strain on a defense in terms of using boost to just keep near Hawk at all time. And it's going to open up cracks elsewhere, and here's what happens when you don't have someone on Hawk for every touch is anywhere that he is on the pitch just seems to be a goal-scoring opportunity right now.
Yeah, and that was the Hawk of old. Like, that was the Hawk that players used to be kind of afraid from, that was touted as being so strong. Granted, in the past, too, we also saw a lot of Hawk, slowing it down, a lot of the mechanics coming into play. Right now, you were right, though. It's a collapse from Serrani.
Yeah.
We are getting close to the double-digit club, and that is not a place I thought we were going to be visiting tonight.
Serrani, man. They, when they start the game off right, they manage to hold it together. As soon as it starts to go wrong, this is a pretty... Collapse is really the only word, you're right. It's been rough. I think, as I said, that fourth goal definitely just felt like the moment, the turning point, when they were kind of signaling that they'd given up on the game a little bit, and they're just looking to game 4 already. But this is getting ugly.
Oh, we still have 100 seconds left. I mean, I was hoping that pinch would go in. Like, that's what I was banking on. Instead, it's just Hawk again from behind. Cheeky little redirect touch. 8-0. 100 seconds to go. I want to see the 10. I want to see the double digits.
I think it's happening for me. Oh, boy. It's so much time to score 2 goals. Look, pace of play, probably going to slow down a little bit, as signaled here. Neither team is going to feel any level of urgency, and if the entire game is just slower, then there's less chances to score off them.
Well, I think what's happened is, unfortunately, for the gaming gamers, they realize they can't get the funny scoreline anymore, so they just like, oh no, we overdid it. Zenus was just driving in reserve, like in reverse, trying to get that goal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're at that stage of the game. It's the game 4 waiting room for this final minute.
It kind of is, yeah. And double digits starting to feel looked for a pass, but unfortunately had a teammate getting a little bit too aggressive with it, unable to get the pass. So, clear lack of... Ooh!
How does Hawk read that? Like, because it looks like Pagsy's just going to go for the straight shot, instead fakes it into the double. Kaka will get the goal. But, yeah, I don't know, Hawk just... He never trusts the first offensive touch. He's always going, like, to defend the second one. Either way, good goal from Kaka right there.
Yeah. Comeback? Formal comeback?
Yeah. Game 4.
Yeah.
Game 4 comeback.
Okay.
Not this one.
Okay. Series comeback. I see. Yeah, that seems fair. It is still 8-1. There's 30 seconds on the clock. And Gaming Gamers, they kind of put the bow on this one a while ago. This has not been a particularly close game. And Serrani continued the very odd series of scorelines and match scorelines they've had all night long so far, where games just do seem to swing on a dime. One game they're up by 3, the next game they're down by 7.
Yeah, which means that we're going to get a Game 5. Like, it's only natural after losing 8-1 to take things to a Game 7 or Game 5. You know, let's go all the way to Game 7. Why not?
Let's go to Game 7, sure.
Let's just skip a couple steps. But no, Gaming Gamers, yeah, they're going to walk away with the win at the end of that 8-1 victory. Very convincing 8-1 victory as well. But it's always easier to bounce back from a game like this than it is from, you know, a tense overtime or a close one-goal game. So I'm not counting out Serrani unless they look as flat as they did at the start of like this game as they did at the end of the last one, in which case I don't know what to say for the Serrani team. If that is
that is kind of the downside of, you know, there was that minute-long waiting room, as you said, towards the end there. They need to inject some urgency straight back into their play. Hopefully it was a mental reset and they can come back swinging here in Game 4. But there is always the risk that Serrani start this game off in that same lull that they ended Game 3 with. And if that happens, I don't think we're getting to see a Game 5. These first passages of play, this first few seconds, going to be pretty important. And Kaka has had a good flick to get that ball forward. But it's Hawk in possession. It's Hawk moving forward with a lot of boost, with possession over the top. Hawk goes coast to coast, and it is 1-0 already.
And that is the Hawk, you know, a lot of people remember seeing. Just a scoop off the top, going the distance, has the pace that no one can realistically challenge, because when Hawk committed for that play, Serrani was playing middle of the field. They were expecting, you know, a lot weaker of a touch. They were expecting it to kind of drop into their lap and they can continue to sustain their attack. That wasn't going to be the case. Now Demos across the middle of the field. No Zen for this play. Might not matter. Hawk looking. Will go corner instead. Pass back towards the center. And now the demo comes into play because Zen not in the middle to continue the attack.
Yeah, 1v1. Fades looking for the bump, but getting bumped himself will push that ball back the other way. Sprat now looking to go down the other end of the pitch. And look, we haven't really actually talked all that much about Sprat and Zen because they're kind of coasting at the moment. Hawk is doing, you know, all of the work in front of net for this team. But what's kind of scariest, I think, for whoever ends up probably facing this Gaming Gamers team in the final, never mind. Fades knocks one in and we're a little bit closer. I was going to say I don't think we've seen Zen or Sprat make big mistakes. They're having a very solid series each. Fades just pulls that out then, though.
Yeah, that was just a slick goal right there from the Serrani side. They're right back in this. But to go back to your point on Sprat and Zen, I mean, Zen, again, is someone who I really likes playing with space, really likes playing a little bit further back. So as long as the aggression is there from players like Hawk, they're going to be fine. Oh, that was ugly from Zen. That was really ugly from Zen. That's going to be a goal. No!
Oh, no!
Okay. Fades got it through. That. It's all good. It was a goal. But it was a goal because of the whip from Zen.
Yeah, okay. And Hawk did nearly make it back in time to cover that one off, but for all the praise that you gave Hawk, you know, attacking the ball and managing to cover off shots by reading where it was going, just a little bit low on the jump that time, and would have been difficult anyway.
I'm breaking a rule. I want to shout out Hercules in Twitch chat, who joined in and says, "Hi, go Zen!" And then immediately Zen made that whip on defense. First time chatters. That is as great a casting. You get into casting, you've already got the curse element down, buddy. You're made for this.
Yeah, listen, we all know the pain. It happens. I think look, we've all played a part in it.
Well, I literally say Zen's good at defense, and then that was the next play. Fades, by the way, has a hat trick, 3-0.
Can I refuse to cast the rest of this series? This is just ridiculous. How did they lose 8-1 and now they're up by 2 and mind controlling their opponents into whiffing every ball on defense?
All right, this is going to be a reference only you're going to get, but every team is UEA.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I appreciate that you made that reference for me. That's another goal. Kaka's put in a double touch. Truly absurd.
Everyone has a goal economy, and all I'm saying is Gaming Gamers, they cashed in Game 3. Serrani, they held back, and now they're cashing in Game 4. Fades has the hat trick. Now it's going to be, it's going to be Kaka's turn.
So what you're saying is that last round was an economy match for Serrani, and now they've bought, and they're just they're smashing. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, great. Hercules is already kept. I just outed myself. Oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
I knew that. I was just,
Oh yeah, I'm sure you did. But that's how the caster curse is so strong.
Yeah,
we already knew she was already on
tournaments
it.
and casts them.
She was already on it. There we go.
She knew.
She knew what she was doing when she came in. It all makes sense.
Yeah,
Zen's gonna get that
hang
goal
on.
through the floor.
This is, as long as we don't talk about Zen, they're regaining power. They've managed to level back up.
That was a sick goal. That was good pass
was.
down and in. 2-4 on this one.
Fate's first goal in this match was nuts. Like, there's been some very, very nice goals so far here in Game 4. Gaming Gamers, can they do what Serrani have been unable to do and pull back a match that started to look like it was falling completely out of control? Each time when Serrani fell down by 3, they kind of just gave up a little bit. Not fully, but, you know, it really, really fell apart from there. It might be falling apart a little. Taxi arguably should have been able to shoot that one a little bit quicker, and I don't know, Gaming Gamers, they definitely have a path back into this game.
Taxi had no boost though because of a double commit on defense before, but then it was kind of equalized when the Gaming Gamers did a double commit on the attack as well. That was a straight 15 seconds of play. Either way, Fades is going to be looking for a backward setup. Has Kaka underneath. Sprat will disrupt it. Hawk wanted to cheat forward, but won that ball to the right, not to the left. Might not matter. Has Zen across the middle. Paxi tries to intercept it. Zen too far forward. Sprat is not. Fades got the demo though. Made the shot awkward, and you can see how the Gaming Gamers are playing a little bit further forward than what they have been for a majority of the series. They're still trying to fight their way back in this one, but I mean, Serrani have finally been able to match the tempo, which has been a big difference maker. I feel like they've been doing a better job managing that boost outside of that one approach by Pagsy, and it's been keeping them a lot more competitive in Game 4.
It really has. Kaka is going to be pushing forward, and it was a boost takeaway by Hawk on his own back boost. And it nearly cost them, but not quite. And here we go, Pagsy, one more chance on net. Sprat sitting there collects that easily enough. That boost is respawned, so Sprat should have an easy time getting this one forward and past Fades will be the case, but Kaka was waiting, ready for that. Moving on net, is the reset there? Yes, it was, but Hawk is in position to read it. And there's a minute left on the clock. 2 goals is the deficit. Can Zen find Sprat? Can they start to close that deficit here?
That's a good waterfall, but Hawk kind of jumped the gun a little bit. It was a little bit too far in front of it. Zen now is going to set up something through that corner. Shot in!
Oh, no way!
Was that a pre-jump on the defense?
I think so. They thought that there was, like, Zen jumped at that so confidently, right? They were like, oh,
yeah,
gotta cover Zen here. Gotta cover Zen here. Why is Zen not hitting the ball? Oh, God, where did Hawk come from?
Oh, I saw it on the replay. Yeah, Fades just full committing for the Zen touch. But it might not matter if this kickoff was in. Oh,
no.
Oh.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Hawk knew, okay? Why are we doubting Hawk?
Yeah, true. Oh, it's trust in Hawk. Trust in Hawk. 30 seconds left. Well, I mean, the Gaming Gamers are going to need that trust in Hawk if they're going to find that equalizing goal right now. It will be Fades through the corner. Has Pagsy behind the midfield. Kaka stays forward. Has a chance. Zen will collect it with 18 seconds to go. Gaming Gamers are on the hunt.
Oh, Hawk tried to fake out Pagsy and then get the musty underneath afterwards. Doesn't work. There is 10 seconds remaining. Ball in the wrong half of the pitch for Gaming Gamers. Kaka, you'd imagine, finishes these, and it will be a 2-goal lead. And Formal, I don't know how it's happened. This is a series in which we had an 8-1 win for Gaming Gamers, and we're going to Game 5 anyway.
Yeah, we just keep on back and forthing this one. Look, I would have predicted this series to possibly go the distance, go to that Game 5. I wouldn't expect it in this fashion. Certainly not, but hey, it doesn't matter how you get to Champions Field. The important thing is that, more so for Serrani right now, is that you get there. And I still kind of like whoever wins this one to kind of win out overall in the Challenger Series. Nothing against the other side of the bracket. I just kind of like these two teams a little bit more than Tiki Taco and Uncheerful. By the way, Uncheerful ends.
Uncheerful End wins.
What? Yeah, they beat Tiki Taka, so there you go.
I think if you are Uncheerful Ends right now, you're probably a Serrani fan, because Gaming Gamers, I think, are more consistent across this series in terms of how they're playing. They definitely look to understand what they're trying to do, which is give Hawk space anywhere near the net at any given time. But when Serrani are peaking, they're on, but they're looking very beatable the rest of the time. I think if you are coming from that other side of the bracket, you probably want Serrani to win right now.
Maybe, but Serrani does have that higher ceiling that you're kind of alluding to. It's kind of a tough one for which one you ought to go through. I mean, I'm here for a Morse versus Sprat battle. I think that would be fun. Maybe I am starting to lean more of the Gaming Gamers, but We'll see if they're going to be able to stop what should be a motivated Serrani on Champions Field. I mean, first goal is not there. Hawk wanted the dunk, but doesn't quite find it.
Yeah, won't quite end up in. Zen moving forward, but beaten by Pagsy. Sprat back to collect. Will pick that one up, but should be getting low on boost, moving this ball forward. Still beats out Fades cleanly, and will get past Kaka as well. Can't get into a position to bump Pagsy out of the way, and Hawk will miss the follow-up. I mean, it's up to Zen to set Hawk up, but Hawk, honestly, at this point, I have the faith that you put Hawk in a position like that, somehow the shot is going on target. It's ended up with a lot of players forward, though. That's on. It's saved. Hawk has managed to get back and clear that away.
Yeah, and finds the midfield touch as well. Kaka will go middle with it, but Zen has it red. Just going to try to drive it forward. Ooh. Hawk wanted either the bump or the ball. Wasn't quite fast enough there, and that's going to save that first goal for now. We've gone a minute without a goal. I don't know when was the last time we've done that. Hawk nearly rectifies the situation, but the save is found.
Are both teams just going to peak for Game 5? Is that the Game 5 finale that we're heading for? I'm all for it. There's a demo on Fades in the background, which means
Zen open net? No.
Fades has respawned, but not in time. Nearly in time, but not quite in time to get back across for that.
Yeah, I saw it being set up right there. Zen did not rotate back, which means Sprat had that pass forward, had to drive it in. The pace absolutely perfect from the Gaming Gamers right there. Fantastic goal, and it's a 1-0 lead.
And they managed to build on this. Do they push the lead higher? That's what we've seen from Leeds basically across this series from Gaming Gainers. They just kind of blow it out very, very quickly.
Oh my, I love that name change. There we go. Shot from Kaka, top left and in. Sending the Gaming Gamers back to the gym to get those gains right now. They're going to need them because we're tied once again.
They are looking massive, but maybe not. They're trapped under their own barbells right now and unable to get up in time to save that ball.
I love that name, the Gaming Gainers. I mean, the Gaming Gamers also would work too. Both of those.
Yeah.
Shout out, by the way, again. I'm feeling nostalgic when the Gaming Gamers played the Great Gaming Gamers in that beautiful matchup. Zed down the middle, shot going to be saved by Kaka rotating back.
Yeah, a little bit of a double commit there, but Fades was able to cover up the follow-up pass as well. Zen playing from their own back wall, taking it slow, letting Sprat get back. That's a poor touch from Zen off the back wall. Hawk there to cover nonetheless. A pass sideways. Fades for Pagsy. Pagsy will win out on the duel in midfield, but bounces awkward, favoring Gaming Gamers in this one. Kaka collects off the side. They're choosing to go high out of their own defense every time. Goes for the bump. It's on target. Zen gets credit for the save.
Oh, Zen on that back line barely coming through. Let's see what Zen can do now up in that corner. Kaka has control. Fades is underneath, but won't get a chance. Demo from Zen, though, allows Hawk a free touch, and that's just going to go in.
No way. Game 1 flashbacks there as Hawk just gets a touch, and well, that just means the ball goes in somewhere at the other end of the pitch. Sprat escorts it the entire way, and Pagsy not able to get back. Credit does go this time around, yeah. There's a demo in the midfield that clears a little bit of that space, makes it a little bit easier to find that space in the backfield. Whatever the reasoning may be, whether it's Hawk or the demo, it is going to be 2-1. Kaka looking to tie it up, gets bumped away from the double touch.
Pagsy swing and a miss. Now Hawk with space. 1v1 against Fades. Wants to go high. Fades does get a touch, but Sprat should be underneath. Goes backboard. The tempo does allow Serrani to reset themselves. Kaka again will take it down that middle. Drops it off to Hawk. He gets past one. Gets bumped off the second. Now Fades. Deep clear. Sprat and Zen. Not too much yet to get involved with the play. They should have some boost. They should have some earnest on that play, but Kaka just able to take it away from them. Tempo slowing down though, and I feel like this is favoring the Gaming Gamers.
Yeah, they're the team with the lead, and also in slower play they seem to look good. Zen over the top, great control. Crossbar and wide though, and then Zen will fall afoul of that ball on the way clear. Kaka beats one. Can Kaka beat two? No. Hawk will manage to put that into a space. His team dominates on that side of the pitch. Two players on the line, and Pagsy the player to collect.
JDW, just don't worry right now. If you're Serrani, you can still bring this one back. A minute and a half left. Sprat will play keep away. Let's see what Fades can do with it. Pop up to themselves. Hawk already there. Shot save. Pagsy diving back. It's knife's edge defense for Serrani because they're trying to cheat players forward. They want that quick counterattack, and they might get it here. It's going to be Kaka. No, Zen off the backboard has to save.
Potentially series defining there. Pagsy got the save. They could be down by 2, but the crossbar has saved that one, and they'll remain down by 1. So much space. Can Pagsy find a shot? Kaka takes it instead. Hawk on the goal line manages to get a touch that sends it high, wide, onto the goal line again. Zen there this time around with 0 boost. Can't get a great clear. Wins the challenge anyway. Fades just sets up half tank boost. Where can you go? Clicks one. Strat on the back wall. Gets the Zen. And that should be this attack ended. If Pagsy doesn't just take it away. Pagsy again! Off the ceiling and finds an equalizer.
And this might look like Pagsy cutting off the teammate, but I actually feel like Sprat gets there if they rely on fades underneath. Pagsy had to take that double touch and gets it through. 2-2 game. Good goal from Pagsy.
What a finale to this series. Absolutely wonderful stuff from both teams. Fades beats out one, but Hawk is sitting there now. Hawk, full tank of boost. Where do we go with this one? A lot of control. Over the top. On target. No. Kaka was sitting there waiting off to the side as that one falls to the near post. Sprat with a chance to just shoot, but Fades is on the line. Hawk is going backwards away from this one. It'll be hard, but that's so clean. The catch, beautiful. The control, amazing. Looking for the dunk, but Kaka is cool under pressure.
Yeah, but still, Zen and Sprat are in position to keep this attack going, and if they can buy time, Hawk might get another chance at it. They run a little too far forward, though. Has to make the play from underneath. It's a delicate touch, 0 seconds. Last attempt's going to come from Serrani. Kaka keeps it up, but there's no one underneath, so we go to overtime.
How is this ended in overtime? None of these games have been particularly close, and yet here we are. Game 5 overtime between these two teams. They finally realized that, yeah, maybe we are pretty equally matched. Is there an early winner? Not off Zen.
Oh, not off a double commit like that!
Oh, no way!
What a way to throw this game in the bin for the gaming gamers. Pagsy puts in the most open of goals.
I guess, yeah, it did have to end like this, didn't it? 15 seconds into overtime, and the double commit costs gaming gamers everything. Formal, they won a game 8-1. They won it in 4 minutes. Nothing happened in the final minute of that game. They were scoring 2 goals a minute, and they lose in a game 5 overtime.
Pagsy can't keep getting away with, like, game 5 and game 7 wins like this. My goodness, even going back to RLCS, for some reason, whenever it's in overtime, whenever it's a tense game, Pagsy is just going to find a way to get an open net goal or, like, get the game winner. Like, they are... I don't know if they're clutch. Something about their aura just drives teams to make mistakes, but it feels like it's a regular thing. When you get into the high-pressure games, Pagsy is going to be in the right place at the right time and get that goal. I don't know. I genuinely do not know.
Well, we'll have to see if that menacing aura can carry Serrani through the finals here as well. They move on to face Uncheerful Ends. We're going to a quick break, but we'll be back with all the action shortly.